Tinker comes up. Tinker comes up. AA blast goes on.
Tinker gets the last hit with the laser, but looks like
Nice.
Crystal Main will die for venturing too far. And meanwhile, Dendy manages to pick off Playmate. I couldn't catch that. I'm watching Crystal Main get chased around by
Yeah,
Vengeful
that
Spirit.
was just the.
Ooh, Crystal Main actually picked up
blast.
early boots compared to Vengeful Spirit, so she'll escape probably, unless Venomancer gets... Nope, she'll escape. So those early boots helping our Crystal Main, and I like that early boots by Crystal Main.
Yeah.
They had to play really aggressive in order to get themselves back in the game.
She is. Yeah, she's slow though with those tits.
Yeah.
Just to wear her down, man.
Yeah. So Ancient Apparition was gonna gank top, throws another Ice Blast.
Oh, is it
Oh!
gonna hit him?
Oh my god!
That was beautiful.
Oh my god, that's intro worthy right there. I'm gonna make another poorly edited introduction, and that will definitely be a clip in it. Meanwhile, Misery
Wow.
and Mania are just harassing Xbox, but Xbox as a Vanguard, he's just like, lol.
That's gonna be a huge problem for them because now they have two heroes that they need to gank in the Brood and the Alk, and they can't do both at the same time.
Right. Not until Tinker gets BOT, so it's all up to Misery at this point. It's Misery and Demon. So that's what the MYM team is going to come down to. Meanwhile, looks like Scourge has a little bit more hope. They've won the early game. Well, it's not really the end of the early game, but they're winning pretty decisively so far. And MYM looks like they're gearing up for push mid lane.
Yeah.
Demon,
I'd say that marks the end of early game.
yeah, Demon is actually behind the entire team with an Invis rune. He casts a Hawk to scare away Venge, which is probably... He gets a roar on the Venge, throws axes, and Vengeful Spirit dies in an instant.
Was there a rocket too?
Yeah, I guess there
the assist,
was. Yeah. And looks like MYM is going to pick up this tower. So, good play by Demon. Oh, meanwhile,
Oh,
Dendy.
Wind dies. Windrunner dies at the top.
I managed to always miss Dendy killing people. Those on the ultimate.
Nova goes down. Crystal Maiden is fucked.
Yep. But burst damage managed to pick down Art Style with Misery and Mania doing a lot of burst damage.
No, Venom's gotta be careful here.
Tinker has Poison Sting on him, so he might actually... No, he's gonna survive. And Venomancer just clarities up and immediately loses that clarity charge. NP. to...
That's pretty much the worst thing ever when that happens.
It's very, very disheartening, to say the least. Especially if you're like, alright, I'm a Sven, or I'm a Skelly King. I have enough mana to cast like 1 or 2 stuns. I need to use every bit carefully, and I'm gonna pop this clarity. Oh, fuck my life. God damn it.
Fissure middle.
But Ice Blast,
okay.
throw down in
Just
return.
blast.
Let's see if it hits Mania. It does hit Mania, and Mania pops
Art
like a
style
balloon.
with the just magic here.
And that's why Ancient Apparition is such a cool hero, guys. Because he has the most fair ultimate in the game.
Remember when he was more broken and his ultimate was 15-second cooldown at level 3?
Yeah.
Yep. That was fair. That was even fairer, actually. Like, he was more balanced back then, I think.
I think you might actually be right. I don't know why Ice Frog nerfed him. I mean, he obviously wasn't overpowered.
Nobody plays him anymore.
I know. It's not like he's first banned in the first round of bans. Except in this game. That was a fail. Misspeak
That was
by me.
English.
Yeah.
And the score is 3-8, so
And
pretty big hole for MYM right now.
they haven't taken any towers. The tower count. Nobody's lost a tower yet. So, I mean, not to emphasize this point over and over, but it's pretty much up to Misery and Demon to get themselves back into the game, because this is a time when Tinker's burst damage really shines. Of course, later in the game with his perma disable, he's really strong as well. But that happens usually 40 minutes into the game.
We have 76 creeps on Light of Heaven.
Wow.
He, of course, is the big farmer player from the old DTS,
Right.
right?
I
So,
remember he actually got, like, what was it, like a 12-minute relic, or a 10-minute relic, something like
on
that,
Alchemist.
out of Syllabear too.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I remember he would always play those Radiant Heroes, because he's just so good at farming. He just gets it so fast.
And he doesn't, like, stick around to overfarm after that, unlike maybe, like, a Loda or a ZSMJ to farm additional items. Once he gets his Radiance, he sort of decisively wants to join the action.
If AA caught kind of in the river here, if the other players come around, they can kill him.
Nope.
Or, well, no, Demon TP.
And yeah, Dendy provides his old buddy art style with some backup support. Let's see how Playmate's doing. Playmate has 51 creeps. Probably the highest on MYM. Nope,
Yep.
Demon has the same number.
So does Misery, actually.
So 51 creeps all around. Quick gold check on Misery. 500 gold short of the travels. And looks like Misery just wants to farm a bit. He's just throwing down rockets to harass Archstyle back.
Yep. Ice Blast going top.
Right. Let's see, is it gonna hit anything?
It hits the Windrunner.
Wow, how does he place these
amazing.
Ice Blasts like so perfectly? He predicts them, and meanwhile, I miss a kill.
Great. Yeah, I missed it. No, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ice Blast. It's Ice Blast's fault. It's not our fault.
Yeah. Anyway, Light of Heaven dies, which is pretty significant.
Yeah.
So, looks like MYM want to push this tower. I mean, the tower's below half HP. They can probably take it pretty easily.
Let me do a quick creep check for Navi.
Yep, but meanwhile, up top, Navi takes the tower as well.
Yeah. We got Archstyle having 34, so he's not doing that great in mid. But he's been ganking a little bit and doing... He's 4-1-3, so it makes up for it. He's got a Treads, an Urn, and a Bracer, and a Magic Wand. Pretty good for AA. I think he's going to want to get a Sheep in this game, especially for like the Tinker. Or what do you think? Sheep? Or would he go defensive?
I think he'll go defensive, maybe Django, Force Staff somebody out of the Beastmaster Roar. You saw Archstyle deny that tower. So, even less gold for Misery. But he actually has his travels.
We got 3,000 gold on the Alchemist with 72 creep kills.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a Boots and a Vanguard, and pretty soon he's going to have a Relic.
That, I don't know what MYM will do.
For MYM.
Yeah.
Puppy is Venge, so I'm not going to talk about him. Light of Heaven. Brood has 87 creep kills. Already starting to work on his BKB.
Definitely a smart choice.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, you always want to get BKB against a Tinker. Because later on, he's just going to hex the shit out of it.
And if you force a Roar from the...
Or from Earthshaker. Or... Wait, what?
No, if you force a Roar from Beastmaster on your Broodmother, then your Alchemist will just be like, okay, I'm going to run in.
Okay.
So...
That's true, that's true.
That's the problem
but
with having...
I was also thinking about how Earthshaker would just blow you to pieces.
Yeah. And MYM has a lot of disable. So it's a really well-married BKB choice.
And finally, on Navi Dendi, no creeps because he's a support. But he's 4 kills, so...
Dendi has actually been ganking very effectively. So let's see what... Looks like Demon wants to farm up a bit. And, oops. I just barely caught the tail end of that, but just harassment. Bringing Ventral Spirit down very low.
Yeah.
So... Not looking good for MYM.
No, not so far, not at all.
Looks like they're gonna gank the jungle a bit. Nice shackle shot and a Fissure block, really well done. Ice Blast goes down, but Dendi dies, but not before he gets off his ultimate. And meanwhile, Playmate's teleport got cancelled, and he pops like a balloon.
I'd say that's not a good trade. Because
yeah, I think.
I know you.
Yeah, I think if they had to have Playmate die, they didn't want him to die to the Alchemist, and Alchemist just threw an acid spray and just like, okay, I'm gonna go back to farming, and he managed to get the kill. He did get the kill. Yes. So that is going to give him a relic, basically. And yep, he bought the relic.
Yep. MP, bro.
Yep. Where is Light of Heaven? I don't see him.
He's walking back to lane.
So good map awareness by Light of Heaven. He's just microing his spiders around like crazy, last hitting, and even trying to go for denies, but spiders can't do everything, man. They can't do everything. They can just take your towers, kill your heroes, and slow you, and respawn inside of your face, like an alien. But they can't do everything. That's the main point I'm trying to get at.
But how sweet would that be if they, like... If it was, like, some sort of, like, DOT, like, infection thing when you got hit by the spiders?
Yeah, and also if they did, like, an AoE Purge Silence, that would be super sweet.
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of a running joke. AoE purge silence. Whenever this fried rice frog comes up with an idea for a skill, it's usually something insanely broken. And I always go, oh, is it an AoE purge silence? And it always is an AoE purge silence. So
that was one time when I suggested a spell that had an AoE like silence and it purged people momentarily. Okay, and we have that now. We have a thrall.
We do have a thrall.
The fucking same thing.
And actually, that Hollow Terror scouted out the boar, but didn't scout the Invisdian. But of course, seeing the boar, they can put 2 and 2 together and figure out, okay, Demon is probably right there.
Yeah.
And looks like they're actually giving Playmate a lot of farms, so it looks like they want Playmate to at least help carry against the incoming threat of Alchemist and Broodmother. And
that's definitely the right choice though, because he is a mid-game, big mid-game hero.
Yeah.
So
you can see him picking up a 4-staff.
Navi does not have as good mid-game as MYM does. So
right.
If MYM can turn this around in mid-game, they have a chance to win this.
Right.
Because look at all their heroes. They have an Earthshaker, Beastmaster, Windrunner, Tinker. All these heroes are shine around the 30 to 40 minute mark.
Exactly. Not so much the 40-minute mark, more like the 30.
Yeah. Crystal Maiden is more around the 40-minute mark.
Right, of course. Especially if you get Ethereal Blade and then you ultimate them. That's
Dude,
so much magical damage.
Did I show you my game with Crystal Maiden when I got a Dag and E-Blade?
That must have been amazing.
He's also screwed, by the way, I think.
No, I mean Alchemist doesn't want to do domestic abuse.
Yeah. I think he just wants to farm.
Women's rights, man. Women's rights. Meanwhile, Venomancer throws down a Gale, but immediately dies for his trouble. Artstyle comes in for support, but he couldn't really do anything. And Demon and Misery pick up a kill on Dendi. And I actually did catch that, but Dendi didn't get the kill. He actually got killed. So I'm not really portraying Dendi in the best light in this game. Not really talking smack against him, but just not catching any of his better moments.
Yeah.
So MYM's doing a good job. They're pressuring the lanes, which is what they need to do. They're pushing Alchemist back, and he doesn't have his Radiance. Actually, he does, probably, because he has 181 gold. And there it is. Right on cue. So we see Artstyle and Puppy come in for smoke gank, or maybe a smoke buy items gank. The gank in that item shop, bro.
Oh, the Beastmaster. Bottom.
Yep, I caught that. And Light of Heaven gets the last hit, despite Artstyle trying to take it with his AA. And now we are going to go for a push bot, but let's see if MYM decides...
BKB on the Brood. 21-minute BKB. He probably had that. He probably had that a long time ago, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he has 128 creep kills, which is really good. I mean, 120 in 22 minutes. That's really solid. And MYM abandon the push top tower once they see Alchemist has the Radiance.
Windrunner is really catching up in farm though. Has 104.
Broodmother BKBs and destroys Mania, and meanwhile Beastmaster actually bought back and he TP'd in and he roars the Broodmother, but he's surely gonna die, wasting additional buyback gold, and Misery barely gets away. So MIM decisively lost that encounter, and additionally they lost Beastmaster's buyback gold, which I don't know if I think they would have lost that tower anyway. So I question that decision on Demon's part.
Yeah, that was not a good encounter for them. They did not TP in. They should not have TP'd in. They should not.
Right. I mean, yeah. BKB Brood just walked past the fissure. I can't speak. I'm gonna take a drink and go on. I'll let you take it for a little bit.
I'll talk. Okay. I think what must have happened. They must not have seen the BKB on him. And they were